Hold on tight. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen.
You might get electrocuted by the tree.
I don't really get the point there.
How does that even work?
That would be a good prank to play on someone who has a...
Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio. It's the show that buys fruitcake recipes on the... Where do you get those fruitcake recipes, Joshua?
The black market, actually.
Oh, never mind. We want to welcome all of our listeners from Indonesia, Switzerland, and Ethiopia.
Switzerland is just like Ethiopia.
Today we're going to be talking about Christmas decorations. We'll be right back after we go eat some Christmas cookies.
You gotta take care of Texas, it's the only one we got. If you're way up in Lubbock or down in Luckenbach, gotta conserve water, keep the air clean. Take care of Texas, don't you know what I mean, y'all? Kevin Fowler here. Texas has clean air, rivers, and lakes, so let's get outdoors and enjoy them. Visit TakeCareOfTexas.org, pledge to help keep it that way, and we'll mail you a free Texas State Park guide. Take care of Texas, it's the only one we got.
Sponsored by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality in Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Comedy Parenting Radio. Because you need to laugh.
I sure do like those Christmas cookies, sugar. I sure do like those Christmas cookies, babe. The ones that look like Santa Claus, Christmas trees and bells and stars. I sure do like those.
You know, Dad, one of my favorite decorations for Christmas is the Christmas tree.
You know there are two kinds of Christmas trees?
What types are those?
That would be the Charlie Brown trees and the not Charlie Brown trees.
Only two types, huh?
Well, we've had the Charlie Brown trees almost as often as the not Charlie Brown trees on some years.
Our Christmas tree currently is a... What would you classify it as?
An antique fake tree.
An antique fake tree, yep.
With
seems about right.
With pieces missing that have been cobbled back together.
Yep. We don't actually have the original base for the tree. We just drilled a hole in a log and stuck the tree in there.
We took the chopping block from outside and drilled a big fat hole in it.
Which is going to make it difficult to chop wood this Monday, but...
Well, it's going to be hard to water the tree, too.
Why in the world would you water a dead tree? That's not even real.
It's not even alive.
And it's not dead either.
We haven't had a real tree in a while.
Wait, it's a live, not real tree? How does that even work?
Well, he did say it was an antique fake Christmas tree, but essentially what it is there's a metal pole that has these rings, and there are these branches. I'm making air quotes here. It's essentially a bit of metal wire with a bunch of green plastic attached to it to make it look like an evergreen branch, and you fluff those branches up and stick them in the holes in the rings.
The whole tree's made out of metal. We get really, really good radio reception when we plug into the tree.
Yeah, that's how we broadcast our show.
This show is being broadcast through a metal Christmas tree.
Yep.
You know what ties into a metal or Christmas trees in general?
What?
Christmas lights and decorating the Christmas tree.
Is it safe to put up metal lights on a metal Christmas tree?
Well, it turns into a giant electromagnet, so you better not bring any electronics near it, but otherwise it's perfectly fine.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We're never going to have our Christmas tree burst into flames like some people do.
Yeah, that's for certain.
You might get electrocuted by the tree.
How does that even work?
Well, you stick your tongue on the like Christmas ornaments, like a cookie or something. You're going to eat it, and then you get electrocuted.
Yeah, because they have metal hangers thingies that attach to them.
Yep.
How do people catch their real Christmas trees on fire?
They're Christmas lights. They go poof.
They go... and it burns down the house.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. We're talking about Christmas decorations, and we'll be right back.
As a Western girl can't be still, and the silent night is not for me. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree.
Are you a failure as a parent or grandparent? Do your little ones cry for no apparent reason? Do you have lots of money?
If you answered yes to these or any other invasive questions, we have good news for you. Treesock Press was named after a cat.
A very cute cat.
Treesock Press printed a book. That book is available in nearly indestructible hardback form and is printed with non-toxic ink so your little dinosaur can virtually eat the book. If this all seems too good to be true, you can go buy a cheap Disney book that's printed in China. Books printed in China aren't as good for teething toddlers as ones printed in Wisconsin.
What's the name of our book?
Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come. This book is funnier than a root canal on a sinking ship.
I didn't know ships had teeth.
Order your copies of Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come from Amazon today. Or tomorrow if you're on the international dateline.
Comedy Parenting Radio, setting the bar in podcasting.
Has anybody seen where I set my podcasting bar?
That's cheating.
You know what the hardest place to put up lights is?
Empire State Building on the 58th floor, right outside of the office.
I was going to say outside lights. You have to be pretty good at acrobatics to pull some of that stuff off.
I don't think that anyone ever hangs Christmas tree lights off of skyscrapers on the outside unless it's like from the window and the window's slightly cracked and it's hanging from the window.
You'd be surprised.
You could be the first one.
You know those window washes that wash like the windows of the apartment?
Yep.
You could just make a bunch of different strands and you just move your little bucket over, staple in a couple of lights, and I would let Dad do that because I am extremely afraid of heights.
Why do I have to do it?
Because you have to.
He just explained because he's afraid of heights.
Well, it is true I put up a lot of lights, don't I?
By the way, I'm actually not afraid of heights.
Yeah, but Dad really is the light hanging up maestro.
I get paid to put up lights.
And he's so good at it that they ask him to do it every year.
Mm-hmm.
Either he's good at it or he's the only one that's willing to do it.
Not everybody's willing to hang out in a tree or up on a ladder with a bunch of Christmas lights all tangled around your neck.
Especially in blinding snow.
It's dangerous. First year I started doing that professionally, our crew put up over 500,000 Christmas lights.
Wow.
Like individual light bulbs or like strands?
Well, there are several lights per strand, and we put up hundreds and hundreds of strands.
Wow.
Enough to make 500,000, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine the electric bill?
Must be out the
Well,
thousands.
that place can probably afford it, so... Also, they've all got LEDs, don't they?
Everything's LEDs now, yeah.
So that will help.
I do enjoy putting lights in windows, like at our house. And I kind of did it different this year. Normally I make them nice and tight and all that. This year I kind of sagged them, like saggy, droopy lights.
Yep. And that way, you did it because...
the neighbors can see the lights.
Exactly.
So it just looks like this wad of lights hanging from the top of the window.
Another favorite thing about Christmas is the wreaths on the door.
Does anybody else do that anymore?
Christmas wreaths?
Christmas wreaths on the front door.
Yeah, but they buy them at the store.
Oh.
Courtney made her own Christmas
Courtney
wreath.
made our Christmas wreath last year.
She did a nice job.
And it actually held up through one of the worst storms
Of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a nice wreath, we kept it up till about the middle of August.
Yep.
Pretty much, actually.
We couldn't get it off. It was zip tied to the door.
Yeah, it became a fire hazard later on. The fire marshal said, you got to take that wreath down. So, Courtney, if you're listening to the show, come make a wreath for this year, and we'll keep it up as long as possible.
Yes, please.
You know, a lot of wreaths, people will put the jingle bells on the door with the wreath, right?
Yep.
Right.
And then when
Acts as a doorbell.
No, it's actually for thieves.
Why don't they put the wreath on the inside then?
Well, you hear the jingle, and you go like, okay, thief in the house, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Now here's some shotgun pellets.
I'm just in here for cookies myself.
Merry Christmas, Christmas comes this time each year.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cold time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Comedy parenting radio in the little cubicle?
Very dangerous.
You're back with Comedy Parenting Radio talking about Christmas decorations. You know, one of the things that I remember the most as a kid about Christmas decorations beside the tree was the windows.
You decorated the windows?
Well, my mom would go to the, GL Perry store, variety store, and she always liked the window clingy decorations. So for Halloween, you would have pumpkins on the window.
Oh, yes.
Christmas was things like snowflakes.
Why go and buy it when you can make snowflakes at home?
Yeah, that's what we usually do, is we'll make snowflakes and then hang them.
No, these were the kind of, vinyl, and they stuck to the window.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Not only that, we had spray snow.
Spray snow?
No kidding. It came in a can, just like a can of spray starch. It probably was starch, but they added something to it like flour. And you would spray it, and it was this white, tacky stuff that stuck to wherever you sprayed it, and it kind of resembled snow because it was white.
I wonder if they've ever improved on that since then.
I don't know, but we had lots of it in our house. My mom sprayed it on every windowsill, so it looked like the windows were leaking snow.
That would be a good prank to play on someone who has a not well-built house.
As opposed to our place here at the chalet, where we actually had real snow coming in through the walls.
We don't need that spray stuff. We're already neck deep in snow.
Hey, kids, would you go out and shovel would you come in the house and shovel the snow off the windowsills, please?
But, Dad, it's cold in the house.
I know, but Christmas time's coming. We got to get the snow off the windowsills. You know what else is kind of an interesting Christmas decoration?
What?
What?
When people decorate themselves.
Decorate themselves?
Look, all you got to do is go to Walmart, and you'll see people walking around decorated for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, like wearing a Santa hat or something.
If I worked somewhere that they made me wear an elf hat during Christmas, I think I would quit.
Come on, it's for the kids, Dad. Well, what all do people wear as decorations, though? Is it just Santa hats? Or?
Well, Santa hats, but then there's always the ugly Christmas sweater parties.
Oh, yes. Those are fun.
And it just so happens that Walmart sells ugly Christmas sweaters on purpose now to go along with the elf hats that the employees are all wearing.
Then there are those, extremely weird people.
Or zealous, if you can call it that.
Who, hang ornaments from their ear piercings, which I don't really get the point there.
There's a scale of that as well. There's earrings, and then there's people that stick full on...
They stick Christmas trees through their nose.
Yeah.
No, but they stick on full on glass balls from their ears and just walk around like that all day.
Bank tellers are more famous for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. We've been talking about Christmas decorations and how we do it, and a lot of other people too. I want to thank you guys for coming to the studio today.
You're welcome.
Hey, no problem.
Welcome.
And when you guys go, would you please put on these rubber gloves and unplug the Christmas tree? Bye-bye.
Call me a cab, boy, and be quick about it. I'm a heavy Tipper.